Hello guys, you're welcome to the Minority Reports Nigeria. I am Dozie.
And I'm Walter.
And today we are going to be discussing something straight off, Walter's social media page, Facebook.
I don't mind him. I recently watched Chris Brown's documentary that he released last year, and Welcome to My Life or something. And it was basically a documentation of his life when he was a kid, when he found fame, when he met Rihanna, the whole assault issue, his battles with the law, and up until now, when his child, his relationship with women, and then now that he's in a stable life. But the part that struck me, that I found very striking, was it was like, now I'm giving my own side of the story about that assault issue that he had so been villainized over.
And then we left.
And Juan, just a few hours ago, we saw Chris Brown drive off. According to sources, the alleged fight broke out inside a Lamborghini that was located at Hancock Park.
As you know, young relationships, any relationship is based on trust, but because I told her that, she didn't trust me with anything. So I would give her the option of, oh, you can look at my phone. So I gave her the phone. She looks at the phone and there's a message and it says, kill the Grammys, do your thing. And I didn't read the rest of the message, I didn't open it. So she opened the message and the rest of the message said, I'll see you at the cloud party. So I thought she thought I was lying. She starts going off, she throws the phone, I hate you, whatever. Starts hitting me. We're in a little Lamborghini. She's fighting me and I'm like, look, I'm telling you the truth, I swear to God. I'm telling you the truth, stop it. So then she hits me a couple more times and I just kind of it doesn't go from translation to let's sit down, I'm telling you the truth. It goes to now I'm finna be mean and be evil, arguing. So then I remember she tried to kick me. It's like just her just being upset. But then I really hit her, like I with a closed fist, like I punched her, and it busted her lip. And when I saw it, I was in shock. I was like, fuck, why the hell did I hit her like? So from there, she just spit in my face, like spit the blood in my face, and I'm like, so it enraged me even more. Like it's a real on fight in a car. We driving in the street. So I'm like, yo, man, we tripping. Like, what the fuck? Like, what are we doing? She's trying to grab for my phone, and I'm not giving her my phone to throw it out of the window. So she grabs my nuts. And when she do that, I bite her arm, I think, as I'm driving, because I'm still trying to drive. And it's just like a petty, like, stupid fight, bro. And I'm just realizing it. I'm like, look, what the hell am I doing, bro? Like, what are you honestly doing this in a car right now? Like, what are we doing? So I pull over in Hancock Park. We were maybe less than 2-3 miles from my house. Because I'm just trying to resolve the situation. I'm not trying to fight any further. I don't want to, like, I love her. I don't want to hurt my girlfriend. So I pull over. And I said, look, like, I'm telling you the truth. Like, I'm crying, she's crying. Like, I'm telling you the truth. I swear to God, like, I didn't do it. I didn't know she was fucking coming. I didn't know, I promise. She just didn't believe me. Like, I just know you lying to me. So she takes the keys out of the car. I'm in park. She takes the keys out of the car and throws fakes like she throws them out the window. And I'm like, what are you doing? And I get out the car. When I get out the car, I'm looking for the keys in somebody's yard. And she yells out of her door, help, he's trying to kill me. I said, stop, like, we gonna get in trouble. So I'm looking for the keys, she's sitting on the keys. So I'm like, you know what, I can't play this game with you. So I'm getting my bags out of the car. She takes my CDs, this is back when I would record on CDs, you couldn't put it on your phone when you're in the studio. So I had new music and she was just scratching it up. I just seen her scratching it up with the keys. So I saw her snatch the bag. And I was like, you know what, you got the keys, you can drive home. By this time, her lip was busted. She had a knot because I pushed her head up against the window. And a lot of the times, like, I look back at that picture and I'm just like, yo, bro, like, that's not me, bro. That's not me. Like, I hate it to this day. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna haunt me forever.
I was hurt the most. Nobody felt what I felt. It happened to me. And it happened to me in front of the world. It was embarrassing, it was humiliating, it was hurtful. It's not easy.
Chris Brown is accused of assault and battery. You're a great dancer, a great singer, you're popular, known all over the world. Do you ever say to yourself, I screwed up?
I felt like the whole thing changed the narrative. You know,
Before
he was, wait, I'm coming.
I'm just asking you, you know.
Before he was just this monster who hit a woman. Like Rihanna was supposed to be this helpless damsel that he, you know, beat up, you know, like that, and then he goes on to pay the price, and endlessly, one after the other, he was just not being let easy, or people weren't forgiving him enough, you know, in the media. But you know, the thing suddenly it brings up the question of provocation. And here is the issue: when you tell a man to walk away from hitting a woman, I wonder how possible that is in a situation where the woman is being
but here's the thing. Me personally, I do not buy into the entire nonsense, the entire gentlemanly nonsense that a man should never hit a woman. If you like, I feel personally like it's a natural consequence of dishing out a slap that you get a slap back in return.
Yeah, I mean,
yes,
big advocate of that.
But here's the thing. Okay, there was this video I saw some time ago. A group of people were on a line, and then this black man, it was the CCTV footage, he just cut through the car and went to the counter and was asking something from the teller. So I suppose maybe he wasn't trying to get money or pay money, wanted to make an inquiry. And then this white woman steps out of the crowd, walks straight up to him, and then she slaps him. And then he turns around and gives her this slap, like hard reset slap. And I was like, go, yes, because why would you do that? I like to look at things contextually within the context, because you can't look at that without seeing the dynamics of race in that, for example. So I am not, if, for example, Jay-Z hits Solange in the elevator, she would have deserved it because we saw the footage. But here is where I have a problem with this Chris Brown situation. For starters, Chris Brown has an anger problem. Let me land. And generally, we cannot have a conversation about provocation, what she's considered provocation, you know, using an exceptional specimen. And that being said, like when you're talking about provocation, you're basically talking about the intensity of the action when compared to the reaction. Now, we're not in that car with them. I watched the part I was talking about yesterday. I'm thinking, how effective is it kicking somebody in a low-lying car like a Lambo? I'm thinking, okay, she scratched your CDs, and really, in 2000 and something, there's no backup anywhere that you can make other CDs from. Wait, let me finish. I'm thinking all that. So we just have his word and her word for what happened in the car. But what we do have are images and pictures. What really, we had footage of Chris Brown's face after the so-called banter in the car. I can't remember seeing any scratch or any bruise or anything. And then we had Rihanna's face. So when we're talking provocation, we're talking intensity of action versus intensity of reaction. Yes. So how do you look at how battered Rihanna's face was?
Listen, okay, wait, hold on. We saw the video of JC and Solange in the elevator smackdown.
Yes,
all smackdown,
where she went on Miss Third World Get on him.
We saw that footage.
Yes.
Now, in that footage, if JC had reacted and really smacked Solange down,
that's where I'm talking. Like,
we would think she deserves
there is an no, not I'm not making that thinking.
No, wait. Here's the thing. Wait, listen. There's something. Even then, I remember as young as I was when all that noise was going on about Chris Brown. I remember because I used to be, even more than now, I used to be very into celebrity news and all that. And I remember following some rumblings when Rihanna was going through the whole interview circuits, you know, talking to
I was people. So hurt.
Diane Sawyer, she talked to Diane Sawyer, I think. You know, she was really playing up the whole I'm a victim.
But she was
victim. She was. But there were rumblings that were even going on then that she was playing it to the hilt. To the hilt, like she had no control over how things went down.
But what that's standard. Victim blaming.
No,
if it's wearing standard, we have a term called victim blaming.
You say Chris Brown has anger issues.
Yes.
I want to think she has anger issues as well.
Where has
they
it
were
been
both
shown?
a volatile.
Wait, chill.
They were both a volatile.
Of course, they both came from dysfunctional families. That is already, that's already a background for codependency.
Yes. So the point is, they were both volatile. It just it was just unfortunate.
But let's not conflate volatility with
written.
having an anger problem. Naomi Campbell has an anger problem. We know that for a fact.
You just said, you brought that up. You said Chris Brown has an
anger problem. He does. Constantly. He's always getting into fights. How many fights
I want to dispute that, what you're saying now. Even then, Chris Brown had not had any such issues.
Walter.
I can contest that issue with Rihanna and his subsequent fall from grace contributed to all his, temper issues bubbling up.
Can I respond to that immediately? Yes, okay.
I can say that that thing that happened.
Of course, you can say that, and it's probably not a catalyst. It probably exacerbated the problem that he had. But how you react to certain issues depends on a great deal on type of personality you have. I know for myself personally, I have anger problems myself. I will not react to the same issues the same way that somebody who's calm and comatose would. So you cannot discredit the fact that you already had anger problem that was exacerbated by what went down.
Wait, what I'm trying to say is we have to take into consideration the extenuating factors here, like who the other person is, who the woman is, her makeup too. You don't put the entire responsibility of sanity and being responsible on the man.
Okay, I think
wait, hold on. About that anger issue now. It helps you. It would help you if you. Yes, it's a good thing you have realized that you have an anger issue and you have to work on that.
Yes.
But you are now 20? You are now in your 20s. He was 18 then. Let's not forget his age.
Yeah, he was.
So at that point, you have to take into the consideration the fact that he didn't have full control of his self as a human being. He probably had all the things he was dealing with, all the shit he was dealing with his dysfunctional family, and then you throw in the equally volatile girlfriend. So it's what the only thing I'm not excusing. I would never excuse assault on a woman. But I mean, on anybody really. I mean, on a woman, because I'm a very clear advocate of if you hit me, I hit you back.
Yes.
But you have to take when it comes to men, you have to take into the consideration the fact that there are factors there, like who was the woman, what role did she play there?
Yes. But see my own angle. All of those things considered, like if you punch me in the eye, and then I bring a gun and I shoot you, because I get provocation.
Yes, yeah, you're right.
Because that's why I was talking about intensity. It has to match up. When somebody slaps you and then there's this thing, and the person looks like they were mowed down by a tractor, we cannot argue provocation.
Yeah, it takes away the provocation part.
Yeah. So that's my argument. Chris Brown, of course, he came from a dysfunctional family, as did Rihanna. They were both volatile. I hated their relationship, I have to confess. I was like, from the get-go, can this will be over already? I thought
like when he kept on resurrecting it and,
Yeah, so, and I did feel at a point that, the whole, the entire assault thing was dragged way too long. Like Chris Brown was made a scapegoat in some way. I started to feel like that. I started to feel like that at a point, but I didn't necessarily think that Rihanna banked on it. Like she was hurt too. She was, you cannot discredit the fact that she thought she loved him, thought they loved each other, whatever dysfunctional codependency they had going on, and she was hurt too. So and she was hurt under a microscope, like
he was.
I'm talking about her.
He was, yes, she was. All this thing calls into question. The whole point of this today's show, it's I just feel like it brings into a sharp light the way society tends to often ignore
double standard.
There's a double standard when it comes to assault and men.
Yes,
there's a tendency for I was listening on that documentary. I was listening to it, and they were playing some clips of people's outrage, and they were just like, he should be done this, he should be done that. People just completely eradicated the fact that he was a young man. He was young himself, and I mean, 18. He was just a teenager himself.
He was young and black.
And black.
When you're black, you're never young.
There were many factors, but even aside from that, the fact that he was a man totally removed his humanity in that situation. And that goes on. This is the same issue that exists in all sorts of assaults meted out on men, whether sexual or domestic.
Yes.
We tend not to, look into these things.
I mean,
once it involves the man, and that's, there was one story I posted on my blog, my Mind Snaps, a long time ago. It's titled "The Conversation." It was basically a queer man confiding in his straight woman friend about how he went through this whole domestic violence phase with his boyfriend.
Okay, I remember that story.
Yeah, and I remember the reaction that story generated on the social media. It was, there were in parts disbelief, shock, like, oh my God, really? Even when you get away from the layers of, a relationship between two men, but it came to the point where people could not even understand, could not relate that a man was being abused by another man. Like, how is that even possible? Now, it is possible.
Of course. I mean, it's human relationship dynamics and stuff.
The masculinity, this thing called masculinity is something that really, really should be removed whenever we're talking about men and women. We should stop. It deceives us, it blinds us to issues that men themselves go through.
Like, you even have situations like there were reports, fairly recently, I think about last year or 2 years ago, one of these Western African countries, a body like the United Nations, and one of these agencies, health agencies that deal with victims of sexual assault and rape and all of that during the war. There were a lot of cases of men being raped by soldiers, and then they go and they give them paracetamol and send them away. No counseling, no nothing, which stems from this stupid idea that men are somehow impervious to this sort of thing, that as a man you cannot be raped. Like, it's a complete, to acknowledge the fact that a man is raped or sexually assaulted or any such thing is a complete invalidation of their maleness,
yes.
Whatever nonsense. So it's a big problem.
It is not assault doesn't have to be mutually exclusive to how male you are. They shouldn't. Those two should not come into the conversation when you're talking
in
about
a way that they
assault.
cancel each other out.
Exactly. It's not. We should talk about the humanity of it. I am a human being. I was assaulted. I'm a human being. I was raped. I am a human. Not I am a man. Oh my God! How were you raped? How could you have been raped? It's just
it's silly. I mean,
it is, but it happens. And these people. That is why the toxicity in our society surrounding men, perpetrated by men sometimes too,
a lot of the time
keeps fermenting, keeps growing.
Yeah, but of
because
course, I mean,
we don't address those issues.
We don't.
That men are also vulnerable and are liable to issues like this that women suffer. Yes, agreed. Women have,
of course,
we should give them a greater consideration because it's their reality most of the time. I read a post that said something about how men should not join women whenever they're talking about them. Women are raped. You should not say "me too" or something like that.
Of course, that is divagating. It's true. Tasteless.
It's just like the white people trying to infiltrate the Black Lives Matter.
All lives matter.
It's wrong, But we should also have those conversations.
Of course.
We should also have those considerations that men go through such issues, and we should also encourage men. Like, a man should not have to come out and say and talk about how he was raped,
and then talk about it in a way
and you laugh,
or even the man talking about it in a way that that time where I've been, they grow up now, the house girl, and they're saying like they deserve a fist bump for it, that sort of thing.
Yeah, like when that is wrong,
and
like
it's also interesting
the horror we should feel when a driver of a family fiddles with a young girl is the horror we should feel if a house girl does the same thing with a young boy. And it should not be seen as an achievement. Is one of the things you have to experience on your way to manhood, on your growth.
And the conditioning, makes it makes the men think of this as, you know, a notch in the belt, conquest and all of that. But it still does not, you know, take away the fact that they suffer, whether or not they acknowledge it, they suffer the consequences of these actions. It scars them in some way.
It does.
You know, ignoring his scar does not make it go away. If anything, it makes it fester. So we should have more conversations about this, male sexual assault and all that, but in a way, because I hate when it's made, and it usually is brought in this way when we're talking about sexual assault. Yes, men get, then you're not only diverting.
Don't interrupt.
Exactly.
These conversations should happen individually.
Yes.
You don't interrupt the women with the men's story.
And then doing that makes it seem as if the men's story of sexual assault cannot stand on its own, cannot stand alone. Like, it has to be hinged on this, okay, it's a he said, she said thing. We are comparing, this is the sympathy Olympics, and we are trying to see who gets gold. So it's just so annoying. If you want to talk about male sexual assault, fucking do it on your time. Not when people are talking about Me Too,
then you now
and Time's Up, and then you come and say, but men. Honey.
If you're going to say, but men do that too, why didn't you start that conversation on its own?
Yeah.
Start it. Start those conversations. Talk about, remove, if you have no fear about, removing, introducing vulnerability in men when you want to interject it into the women's conversation. Why not just make it a standalone? Talk about it on its own. Address those issues. And please, there is this whole inhuman reactions to the topic of men being assaulted, and
it's
all this
nasty.
Mockery, this incredulity, this disbelief. It's like
it's even there was the case where that woman who stabbed her husband to death or something, and then people were coming to ask, what did he do? I'm like, I'm sorry, are you serious right now? This woman literally just stabbed her husband to death over nothing or whatever what was going on in her head. And the question you're asking is, he must have done something. You
trying to justify the woman's rape.
Yes, just what?
It's
so yeah,
we live in a very shitty society.
We do, and that is why this is necessary.
Yeah,
because we
have to talk. And when we talk, you have to talk too. And when you talk, please, all we are trying to do here is to generate a forum for people to really talk and perpetuate the rights. When we keep having the right conversation, we keep saying the right things, when we keep pushing for the right actions to be taken. I mean, at some point, the society is not some abstract thing. It's all of us who make up society. So if we keep saying it and keep doing it, at some point the narrative will change. And people will be more human. We can hope in our lifetime.
Definitely. So on that note, we're going to end it today. Until we come your way next time. I am Dozie.
And I am Walter.